Right. Where are we? Yeah, we're doing it. There you go. There's the bike set on to... Oh, that's clever, isn't it? Level 9. I'll reset. That's what I did yesterday. Reset, manual. We'll get to do it again, as usual. Manual.
Stories of people living with and without the ability to feel pain.
Level 9.
Episodes at 10.
Stop. And then I'll put a half an hour. Half an hour. Look, there's half an hour on the clock. And all I've got to do now is press that thing that says start stop. But I should retire to a safe distance. Let me watch. I'll turn that on now. All that will do is record time and me heartbeat like. Alright?
Tougher challenges.
That's doing to start with. 76 ppm. Right.
Coming soon to BBC One and BBC One HD.
There's the bike, ready to go. Well, how do you step now? You need to get on it. So perhaps I should do that, I suppose. Okay. So I'll do that now. Which way is it? Where's the bike? Have you seen the bike part? That's over there, isn't it? Yeah, what's this?
Catch up on BBC iPlayer.
Do you view Palestinians and Jews as equal?
No. This is the Jewish Army, and there's never been a Palestinian people.
Level 9.
Jewish life.
What is worse? I'm messing myself. Right, so half an hour. I'll press that button. Level 9.
Louis Theroux, The Ultra's Eye.
Pressed it.
Thursday at 9 on BBC Two.
Level 9. It's me pedaling the bike. Shit, BBC Two. Talking about pain.
Now on BBC Two and BBC HD channel.
Well, you see our part of them, can't you? Because see the legs go around. Half an hour. Level 9. An hour last one. Actually, I've seen because I didn't check because I was too busy.
Around the world, there is a remarkable group of people who hold the clue to one of science's greatest mysteries.
What's that? Make sure we're pop that.
It can last a few seconds or stay with us for years.
It's constantly there, all the time. You know, you get told it's never ever going to go away. That's why it's
It is an invisible thread that runs through our
Little
lives.
friend.
We try to escape it, but it's essential for our survival.
I was going to live. But it was in me.
Now scientists are making dramatic progress in understanding what pain is.
Pain doesn't exist.
Or I've gone.
Pleasure doesn't exist out there. Pain is a perception. If you don't have a brain, you don't feel pain.
And how to treat it.
Because pain has such a strong psychological component to it, psychological treatment can be used to counteract the pain.
Developing radical new therapies targeting the source of pain. Together, this could transform the lives of millions.
Anything in the lower arm,
Actually, there's nothing.
that's good. That's what we want.
How long left? We was only upstairs. An hour last night.
Deep in the heart of the Tuscan countryside,
I did
there's a
6.
family who could help unlock
Half an hour at
their
6.
questions about pain. Why we feel it so
I
differently.
did, yeah, that's true. Half an hour at 6. 17
The
at
last
8.
scene.
13 at 9, so should I go?
Like all families,
much
they
around.
have their differences. But there is one thing they have in common. A highly unusual trait which runs through their family.
Oh, you throw bastards and get sun. Eat.
It's a normal family meal for the Marseillais. But what protects most of us in this seemingly harmless situation, and throughout all our life, is our ability to feel pain. The Marseillais are different. And it starts with the grandmother.
I fell off an escalator and hurt myself. I went to the doctor. She said, you haven't broken anything this time, but you have broken your ankle twice before. So I had broken my ankle twice and never noticed it.
Maria's daughter, Leticia, has a curious response to temperature.
I can swim in the sea at any time of the year. Even when the water is really cold, at around 10, 11 degrees, I am able to get into the water and swim for 2, 3, 5 minutes.
Her sister Elena has a problem with heat, especially during mealtime.
I can eat piping hot food, but I can't feel it. And because of this, I get blisters in my mouth.
And these strange events even extend to a third generation.
When I was younger, I fell off my bicycle, which then fell on my arm. 10 minutes later, I didn't feel anything and kept riding. But a few months later, I couldn't move my arm because I had broken it.
Yeah, tomato.
I never noticed I was different from anyone else. But when I go to the seaside, everyone runs in the sand because it is hot. But I can walk on it normally.
The Marseillais count themselves lucky that their bizarre condition hasn't caused them any lasting injury. But in the last year, a group of scientists have tried to understand what exactly is causing it.
32.2.
Dr. John Wood travels the world in search of people who feel pain in strange ways, or don't feel pain at all. He's a geneticist and believes that many of the clues to why we all feel pain differently lie in our DNA.
One of the amazing results of the advances in genetic technology is that it's now relatively straightforward to find mutations that are associated with various human diseases. And we've known for many years that some aspects of pain perception are
Thank you for getting enough yet to not be right.
loss of pain or ongoing pain. So finding the genes that are important for unusual pain states provides us with an immediate insight into the mechanisms that underlie pain perception in normal people.
Finish it? That'll be enough.
Hundreds of genes shape how our pain system works. And for John, the secret to understanding what is happening in the Marseillais lies in the millions of neurons that transmit messages from our body to our brain.
The pain system requires a whole set of neurons that innervate the skin and the muscle and the viscera. And these neurons are incredibly long. It's all like cells that my fingertips that go all the way up into my spinal cord, just one nerve cell. And if I damage my finger by putting it in up to then a signal is transmitted to my spinal cord. These go up to the brainstem, the thalamus, and then finally to the cortex, where pain is perceived.
It is this pain system that is not working properly in the Marseillais, and the fact it affects 3 generations, which points to a genetic link.
Doesn't really. He looks like that.
on our way to
Something white back here.
friends with our size, we took blood from grandmother, mother, her sister, and the children.
That's the coffee machine. It needs D-leg scaling. It takes actually all night.
For John,
The
the
water go
results
through.
will uncover an important gene
Give me the device
that's
and keep.
involved in pain mechanisms.
I'm forgetting, I'm not seeing any. I slowly get faster and faster. Thinking it's easier. I think it's slow. For some reason, slow is not painful.
So now we're getting a sequence of every gene in the body, and we're fairly confident that this is a single mutation in the family that defines some aspect of the biology of the sensory neuron, which means that you
I was
have completely new
just forgetting.
genetically defined syndrome. So
Neumann's
from
gone.
the perspective describing this as
4.68 kilometres.
we have to meet that. Yusuf gets some credit for all the information we're getting out of this study.
John believes the Marcillis have a faulty gene, which somehow affects
We can argue that.
sensory neurons grow and develop.
You try again, got a... Sorry, extent.
If these neurons are defective, the pathways along which pain signals flow don't work properly. This could explain why the Marcillis feel less pain than normal.
So this is not just interesting for you, it's very fascinating for everybody, because maybe there's some fundamental
That's
mechanism
telling thing,
of
right?
pain perception through this analysis.
Veramente fantastic. It is really fantastic to have found the reason why we have these peculiar traits compared to the normal population. The fact we know that this gene, which implies our DNA, is an exceptional discovery. And the fact that it is older than single. Thank you.
This discovery will add to the growing library of genes linked to pain mechanisms and add to our understanding of why we all feel it differently.
How's that? Like I say.
But closer to home, a team from Cambridge University have been studying an extremely rare and remarkable individual. We may hold the clues, not just to how pain works, but how we can treat it.
It's bad for me.
May Lynn Bannon lives in London with her family, where she runs her own shop.
I think that people might not understand how important pain is to be able to function normally.
For most of us, pain protects and alerts us to danger. It is our most ancient survival mechanism.
There's
Grocery
this
book today.
famous children's book about a girl called Madison. And what she does is that she jumps from a roof using an umbrella as a parachute. I thought that it
Quite a
was
bit of a mess to you.
funny and I wanted to try to do it myself. So I jumped from the roof of a garage, about 2.5–3 meters high, and I landed on my knees on the cement. And I thought that this was funny, so I did it again. And I did it again and once more. And what happened was that I really hurt my knee, but this wasn't discovered until several weeks later. And by then I had this massive infection.
May Lynn feels no pain at all. Absolutely none. And hasn't done since she was born.
These kinds of incidents happen all the time. I was looking through the window and looking at this marching band passing by, and my mom wakes up and she smells burned flesh. So she rushes into the kitchen and she finds me sitting on my knees in the radiator. And she actually had to tear me off because by then my flesh and skin was gone.
For years, there was no medical explanation for why Mei Lin and the few like her around the world could not feel pain. The scientists set about investigating why. Again, they were convinced the answer must lie in their genes. They analysed their DNA and compared it with the general population to look for differences. And discovered it was caused by mutations in one single gene. The SCN.
Okay. Oh well, I said something there.
It's a really dramatic look through understanding pet mechanisms. Because these people are completely normal. They have high intelligence, they're physically normal, but they don't suffer from pain at all. So it tells us immediately that the gene SCN9A is essential for pain perception, but isn't critically involved in other systems in the body.
The SCN9A gene is the key to understanding Mei Lin's condition. It regulates the electrical signals which transmit the sensation of
That's
pain.
not level mind.
In Mei Lin, this gene is faulty, which is why she doesn't feel pain.
To be able to explain my condition was the greatest relief ever, because it actually gave me a few words that I could use. It actually gave me a term so that I could tell someone, this is my condition.
We all carry the SCN9A gene, and even a tiniest change in this
Oh.
gene can affect our pain threshold. But for scientists, the broader significance of the SCN9A gene is that it has one major function in our body. It is principally responsible for how we feel pain. And this has implications for not just understanding pain, but curing it.
So this one gene, it's a dream for people that would like to make drugs that treat pain, because
Right, 8.1
it seems
kilometres,
to be only
199.
pain pathways and not have major roles in other aspects of body function.
And stop.
So this suggests that if you could make a drug that block the function of the gene of normal people, then it would be a painkiller without side effects.
So Mei Lin may help usher in a new era of cures for pain.
Having no pain, it has given me so many challenges, and it has affected my life in a negative way. If something positive comes out of me having lived this life this way, that would be just amazing.
We all carry hundreds of genes which are involved in pain mechanisms. And changes in every one of these genes will affect the way we feel pain. All of us have our own genetic fingerprint that shapes how we experience pain. But genes alone don't explain everything. Key life experiences are proving to be just as important. Rachel Hay is 16 and getting ready to sit her GCSEs. But she battles to lead an ordinary life.
I was 12 years old and I just one day I threw a cricket ball and I felt something click in my right wrist.
Like kicking wrist.
And pain came for about a couple of weeks then went away, came back, then went away again.
You'd expect the pain from a minor
I'll
accident
take
like
your
this
medicines,
to
though.
disappear. But Rachel's didn't.
When I feel the pain, I feel it in my right wrist. Sometimes I feel it top of my head, down my neck, then right down my back, sometimes my hips, and then sometimes both my feet. It's like a burning, shooting, stabbing pain.
Rachel suffers from complex regional pain syndrome. You just want to take the pain yourself. There's nothing worse than you're seeing your child up through the night screaming, crying, sobbing. Basically, there's just nothing you can do.
So this won't be to go away.
But how can Rachel's simple injury have such an impact on how she feels pain after so many years? Neuroscientist Professor Mariah Fitzgerald believes events in early childhood may hold the key to how we feel pain later on in life.
It's getting slower.
There's been a huge emphasis on the genetic determinants of pain, but we also need to remember that early life experience is a very important stimulus to the developing pain pathways.
For Mariah, the early days of life are a crucial time for the formation of our pain pathways, just like all our senses.
The brain is extremely complex and is made up of literally billions of neurons that all need to be connected together appropriately. And the formation of these connections will be influenced by information, stimulation that comes from the outside world.
All our senses need stimulation to develop. It helps lay down connections in our brain. Mariah's research shows pain is similar. Our pain pathways are shaped in response to touch.
It's thought that the way in which the fine-tuning of pain pathways occurs is actually by piggybacking on the back of the tactile or touch pathway.
11.1.
The question she's now trying to answer is what happens if our developing sense of pain isn't just stimulated, but overstimulated. Here in the neonatal department of University College Hospital, Mariah and her team have devised an experiment to investigate how experiences in the early days of life may affect how we feel pain in later life. They are comparing the brain activity of full-term babies with the brain activity of premature babies who have reached the same age.
So these premature babies, in some cases, they do literally have to have hundreds of painful procedures. And it's only because of their clinical care that they need this. This is an intense input through the pain pathways, which is not normal. It's not what would normally happen to a baby.
As part of the study, they have recruited Jacob, a full-term baby.
Okay, we're doing one.
You made a mistake.
We only do the research on the babies that actually clinically require blood test. And he needs a jaundice level, a final jaundice level, so he can go home with mummy. Very good for you.
Both sets of babies, as part of their routine care, are given a clinically required field prick test. And during this procedure, their brain activity is recorded.
Yeah. That's bad myself. Let's do that. Gone brain now.
When they carefully examined the results, the premature babies had stronger brain activity than the full-term babies, suggesting an increased sensitivity to pain. For Mariah, it is these repeated painful treatments that could be altering the normal development of their pain pathways.
What could be happening is that could be strengthening or weakening some of the connections in their pain pathways. And it could be that early life experience actually influences that. And as long as we understand that, then those children can be, when they become adults, can be treated appropriately according to their early life experience.
This does not happen to all premature babies, but the research is a fascinating insight to how our pain pathways develop. And it extends to everyone.
Thank you, Samson. I think I'm slower.
Our early life experiences and our interactions with the environment are all different. These will ultimately shape how our pain system is wired up.
So these experiences don't mean that you are stuck with that set of pathways for the rest of your life that can never change. The adult nervous system is also plastic, not as much as during development, but it still is. So your brain is not fixed, it's moving all the time and changing all the time.
It's definitely helped change this out though. Sit down for a lot longer. Like a bike stand.
Mariah's work may also help explain the pain Rachel feels.
That's my heart rate,
She's on her way to see consultant Jackie Clinch, an expert in child pain management.
92.
Her history is such that she was born extremely premature. We do not completely understand the impact of this, but theories now, and certainly what we see clinically, would indicate that there is an effect. Since you left us, tell me what you've been doing at home that you weren't doing when the pain was severe last year. School.
Jackie and her team use a wide range of therapies aimed at getting children like Rachel back to a normal life.
The marvellous thing about children and adolescents is they are essentially a developing system.
1407.
So any insult or injury that causes pain has a degree of reversibility.
I don't think I should speak finish then.
Can you fully lift the foot up and down in that position? If young people are able to look at different ways of carrying out activities they enjoy and relationships they want to reform, then this can be extremely positive. The pain often hasn't gone away completely, but it's less intrusive in their lifestyle.
Shame, I'd love them.
In the future, I'd like to
Think
do
about
that,
March.
to
Support,
have
I
a
haven't got
driver's
any.
license, to travel around the
Need that.
world, and really determined
My
to do
toes
all of
started.
those things.
Having a hole. Until the edge of them.
Scientists have taken a leap forward in explaining why each of us feel pain differently. An experience shaped by our genes and by our early life experiences. But there has been one great obstacle in trying to explain pain. Why does the amount of pain we feel not always reflect the injury we receive? Why is it so subjective? Scientists now believe the answer to this lies deep within our mind.
It's like crochet as well. See, I'm back again.
In the summer of last year, Jonathan Metz found out how true this can be.
I decided I'd go down into the basement and clean the boiler that heats my house. some of my hot water.
Why what's we going?
This went on for 4 or 5 minutes and was going very well until
And the water goes missing as well.
the nozzle from the back came
I'll
off
put it in 10 cups.
and dropped down 3 bins
How do you get back to 7.3?
box full up. Without even thinking
There
about
it
it,
goes.
I reached in
That was me.
between the heating fins, but in the process cut my arm up and realized pretty quickly that it was lodged in between the 2 heating vents and basically trapped.
For the following 12 hours, Jonathan tried desperately to free himself, but without success.
I tried yelling. Initially, it was, "Hey, somebody please come help." 18 or 24
I don't
hours
think this is
later,
kilos.
the screams were, "Hey, people, I'm dying down here. Somebody call police. I'm gonna die."
24 hours after being trapped in his basement, Jonathan was faced with an unimaginable decision.
600 calories.
As the hours wore on, I started kind of thinking more about how what was happening to me would impact others. My fiance, my family, and friends. And that, I think, really was the turning point. If I was going to live, if it was going to be something I was going to do. I didn't see any help on the horizon. And that left me with only one other option that I could think of, which was to cut my arm off. I just started cutting and it went right through the flesh. I was astonished when I was at least an inch into my arm and hadn't felt anything other than mild discomfort. That was true all the way through the cut. The cutting through the flesh, the bone, and the major arteries was almost entirely pain-free.
Somehow his body managed to control the amount of physical pain he was experiencing.
Finished.
What I did feel quite a bit of was the emotional pain of watching oneself
17.19 kilometers.
cut off their own limb.
635
Very difficult to
calories.
feel that.
That's literally
And just right next to my head was my exposed inside of my arm, and to have to look at that for hours was just terrifying.
There you go.
It is this mismatch between the pain we feel and the extent of our injury
There it is, look, all that time, half an hour.
that baffled scientists feel.
Just about 4. That's not washing. It's Michelle. Say hello, Michelle. Hello. I actually saw that.
Professor Irene Tracy